So when I'm talking about the front of the forearm, so the forearm it has mainly two compartment, the anterior compartment and posterior compartment. So when I'm talking about the forearm, your forearm it has two compartment, anterior posterior. So first of all I am talking about the anterior compartment, okay, or the front of forearm. Okay, so front of forearm. The front of forearm it has eight muscles. Front of forearm it has eight muscles. Okay, two artery and two nerve. So front of forearm it has eight muscles, two artery and two nerve. Two artery, one is your radial artery and another one is your ulnar artery. Very simple. Radial and ulnar artery and two nerve. Actually not, it is two, this is mainly plus one, actually three nerve. So the mainly median nerve, ulnar nerve and also radial nerve. Okay, so the major territory for medial nerve is your forearm. So okay, so your forearm, the median nerve is the major nerve, or median nerve is the it has the major territory around the forearm. All right. So when I'm talking about the eight muscles of the front of the forearm or anterior compartment of the forearm, so now let's talk about the anterior compartment, anterior or front of forearm. When I'm talking about the front of forearm it has mainly eight muscles. Okay. Out of these eight muscles, five superficial muscle and three deep muscle. Five superficial and three deep muscle. Okay. When I am talking about the five superficial muscle, from lateral to medial, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From lateral to medial, most lateral, pronator teres. Okay. Then flexor carpi radialis. Then palmaris longus. It has short belly and long tendon and forming the palmar aponeurosis at the palm region, palmaris longus. Next is your flexor digitorum superficialis. Okay. And last one is your flexor carpi ulnaris. Okay. So these are the five superficial muscles of anterior compartment of the forearm. And the three deep muscles, in these three deep muscles it has flexor pollicis longus, most lateral, flexor pollicis longus, and most medial. This is your flexor digitorum profundus. Profundus means deep. In superficial group you can see the flexor digitorum superficialis, and in the deep group you can see the flexor digitorum profundus, causing the flexion of the digits. And last one is your triangular pronator quadriceps muscles. Actually this is the basic arrangement. Now let's talk about the detail of those muscles. So when I am talking about the anterior or front of the forearm, anterior compartment or front of the forearm, you can see here the eight muscles, and out of these eight muscles, five superficial muscles, okay, and three deep muscles. Five superficial muscles and three deep muscles. All right. Five superficial muscles from lateral to medial. It is your pronator teres, most lateral. Then your flexor carpus radialis. Then palmaris longus with long tendon, short belly, and forming the palmar aponeurosis after the flexor retinaculum. Then flexor digitorum superficialis attached with proximal interphalangeus joint and causing the flexion of the digits, and flexor carpi ulnaris. And here in the three deep muscles you can see flexor pollicis longus causing the flexion of the pollex, flexor digitorum profundus, the deep muscle, profundus mean deep, and quadriceps muscles, pronator quadriceps, quadrangular in shape and causing major pronator. Major action is its pronation of hand. What is pronation? Pronation is nothing but the rotation of radius on the ulna at the radioulnar joint. Alright, so this is the basic overview. Now let's talk about the each and every detail of those muscles. So before discussing their detail, now just I am adding one detail here: the nerve supply. Anterior or front of the forearm, principal nerve, main nerve is median nerve. Median nerve is supplying your anterior compartment of the forearm. Median nerve supplying all the muscles of the anterior compartment of the forearm except all the muscles of the anterior compartment of the forearm except the medial half of the flexor digitorum profundus, its medial half, okay, and flexor carpi ulnaris. These two muscles. Actually, flexor digitorum profundus, it has two heads, one medial head and one lateral head. So here you can see, here I am writing flexor digitorum profundus. Flexor digitorum profundus, it has medial head and one lateral head. This medial head, it is not supplying by your median nerve. Medial head supplying by your ulnar nerve. Lateral head supplying by your median nerve. And flexor carpi ulnaris, it is also supplied by your ulnar nerve. Okay, so except these two muscles, all other muscles of the anterior compartment of the forearm are supplied by your median nerve. All right, so median nerve, it is supplying all muscles, 6.5 muscles of the anterior compartment of forearm, and ulnar nerve, it is supplying the medial half or medial head of flexor digitorum profundus, and another one is your flexor carpi ulnaris. Okay, so 1.5 muscles are supplied by your ulnar nerve. Okay, so this is the basic. So remember like this only, just remember the flexor carpi ulnaris is supplied by ulnar nerve and the medial half of the flexor digitorum profundus is supplied by your ulnar nerve. Except these two muscles, all other muscles of anterior compartment of your forearm is supplied by your median nerve. That's why median nerve is called, or the median nerve, it has major territory around the anterior compartment of the forearm. All right. So now let's talk about the arrangement orientations of those muscles. Okay, so here you can see the deep muscles, pronator, teres, etc., etc. Yes, in this diagram you can see the anterior view of the forearm. This is the anterior view of the forearm. In this diagram you can see the anterior view of the forearm. Somewhere here is the medial epicondyle of the humerus. Okay, so medial epicondyle of the humerus, and all the muscles of the anterior compartment of the forearm, these all muscles are generally originates from the medial epicondyle of the humerus. Okay, anterior compartment of the forearm is also called your flexor compartment. Actually, it's causing the flexion at your wrist, at your metacarpal phalangeus joint, at your interphalangeus joint, both proximal and distal interphalangeus joint. Okay, and also sometimes at your elbow. That's why our anterior compartment of the forearm is called your flexor compartment. Okay, so all the muscles that forming the anterior compartment of the forearm, they are generally originates from your medial epicondyle of the humerus. So just for a information, your medial epicondyle of the humerus is a traction epiphysis. Okay, traction epiphysis. Okay, this is a traction epiphysis. It is your medial epicondyle of the humerus. Alright, so here you can see the superficial muscles. Here you can see these superficial muscles of the anterior compartment of the forearm. This is the lateral view, this is the medial side, and this is the lateral side. Here you can see the medial epicondyle of the humerus. This is the medial epicondyle of the humerus, which is also called from here also called the common flexor origin. Okay, so anterior portion of the medial epicondyle of the humerus is called your common flexor origin. Why? Because many flexor, not many, every flexor muscles of the superficial layer, not the deep, every flexor muscles generally originate from this epicondyle. That's why this is called your common flexor origin. So here you can see the common flexor origin. Here you can see various muscles. You can see the pronator teres, this one, the pronator teres. Yes, this is the pronator teres. You can see the pronator teres here. Okay, so pronator teres actually it is forming the medial border of the cubital fossa. Here you can see the cubital fossa. This is the cubital fossa. Yes, this is the cubital fossa. You can see here. Here pronator teres forming the the superficial muscle pronator teres. It's forming the medial border of the cubital fossa. Then it crossing the forearm laterally. Okay, and attached on the radius. And this is below this muscle. Okay, so now you can see another muscle here. Yes, this is the lateral most. This is the pronator teres, lateral to pronator teres. Sorry, medial to pronator teres. It is your flexor carpi radialis muscle. Okay, so here you can see most lateral the pronator teres, and then you can see pronator teres most lateral. Here you can see this one, and then lateral to medial to this pronator teres. You can see the flexor carpi radialis, Okay, flexor carpi radialis muscle, and here you can see medial to this flexor carpi radialis muscle, short belly muscle. Yes, this is short belly and long tendon muscle. This is your palmaris longus. All right. So short belly, long tendon, palmaris longus, and this palmaris longus is attached on the flexor retinaculum. Here this is the flexor retinaculum, palmaris longus attached at the flexor retinaculum, and then forming the palmar aponeurosis. So what is aponeurosis? Aponeurosis is nothing but this is a tendon. Okay, the tendon is getting flat here and forming a sheath. This is called your aponeurosis. Okay, so this palmar aponeurosis are coming from the palmaris longus muscle. It has short belly and long tendon, and medial to this palmaris longus you can see here the flexor digitorum superficialis. This muscle is flexor digitorum superficialis. Here you can see the flexor digitorum superficialis. Okay, and lateral to this flexor digitorum superficialis you can see flexor carpi ulnaris. This one. Okay, so from lateral to medial, the 5 superficial muscles you can see. I already told about this 5 superficial muscle. Yes, this 5 superficial muscle. So let's discuss about its organization. Okay, so from lateral to medial you can see the 5 superficial muscle here. Just appreciate this diagram. Look at this diagram. One second. Just I am repeating. First I am erasing everything and then I am repeating everything. One second. So all the superficial muscles of the anterior compartment of the forearm, they 5 in number. All right, all the superficial muscles are 5 in number, and all the superficial muscles are supplied by your median nerve except your flexor carpi ulnaris. It is supplied by your ulnar nerve. Except the flexor carpi ulnaris, all the superficial muscle is supplied by your median nerve. Okay, so let's start from this muscle. This is pronator teres. This is the pronator teres, which is forming the medial boundary of the cubital fossa. Gets common origin from the medial epicondyle of the humerus, which is also called your common flexor origin, and then it crossing the anterior forearm and attached on the radius, the most convex part of the radius. All right, this is all about the pronator teres. So most lateral is the pronator teres, and then pronator teres medial to pronator teres, you can see flexor carpi radialis muscle. This is the flexor carpi radialis muscle, lateral to pronator teres. Okay, and here you can see medial to flexor carpi radialis, flexor carpi radialis, and medial to flexor carpi radialis, you can see palmaris longus. This is the palmaris longus with the short belly and long tendon forming the palmar aponeurosis also. And medial to palmaris longus, you can see the flexor digitorum superficialis, and medial to flexor digitorum superficialis, you can see the flexor carpi ulnaris. These all muscles. So these are the superficial muscles of the anterior complement of the forearm. So pronator teres, most lateral, and most medial, you can see the flexor carpi ulnaris. Okay, and medial to pronator teres, you can see the flexor carpi radialis, and then you can see the palmaris longus. Here is the palmaris longus, this one, and medial to palmaris longus, you can see the flexor digitorum superficialis. This is the basic orientations of the 5 superficial muscles of the anterior complement of the forearm. All right. Okay, so here you can see the group, the superficial muscles. Here you can see once again. Let's revise this thing. The superficial muscle most lateral is the pronator teres. Okay, group comprises muscles from lateral to medial. Then medial flexor carpi radialis, medial to flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus. It has long tendon, short head, forming palmar aponeurosis. Okay, then flexor digitorum superficialis, and then flexor carpi ulnaris. Only the flexor carpi ulnaris, it is supplying by your ulnar nerve. All these muscles all are supplied by your median nerve. Okay, and also you can see this thing here, that all these muscles of flexor of the forearm have a common origin from the front of the medial epicondyle, also called your common flexor origin. Okay, so these are the 5 superficial muscles. Now let's talk about the deep muscles. There are 3 deep muscles. Okay, so one is your flexor pollicis longus. Okay, most lateral flexor pollicis longus, flexor digitorum profundus, and pronator quadratus. These 3. Okay, and all the deep muscles are supplied by your median nerve except the flexor digitorum profundus. It's medial head. Okay, it's medial head. It's not supplied by your median nerve. It is supplied by your ulnar nerve. Okay, all right. So here you can see the deep muscles. Okay, so here you can see the deep muscles. Just look at this diagram. This is the medial epicondyle of the humerus, common flexor origin, and you can see here the cart section of the flexor carpi radialis and palmaris longus, and you can see this muscle. Yes, this muscle you can see. This muscle, this is your flexor digitorum superficialis muscle. This muscle is your flexor digitorum superficialis. It has two head, okay, and connected by a tendinous arch. And also you can see here the other two muscles, the band like other two muscles also you can see, not here, yes. In this diagram you can see this muscle. This is your pronator quadratus muscle. Pronator quadratus muscle. This is actually the wrist band like muscles, okay. This is the pronator quadratus muscle. And last one you can see the flexor pollicis longus, which is something you cannot see in this diagram, also in this diagram, okay. I'll show you this thing later. Here you can see these muscles. This is the flexor digitorum profundus, okay. This is the flexor pollicis longus, this one, okay. These are the deep muscles and these are the superficial muscles. Yes, pronator teres, this one the pronator teres crossing the forearm and attached on the radius. This is the flexor carpi radialis, you can see this. This is the palmaris longus, long tendon, flexor digitorum superficialis, this one, and flexor carpi ulnaris, most medial. Now let's talk about each and every detail of these muscles, okay. So first of all I'm going to talk about the 2 or 3 key points about pronator teres. So first of all, pronator teres, it's forming the superficial muscles. Okay, pronator teres is forming the superficial muscles, okay, of the anterior forearm. So first of all, its origin from the pronator teres, you can see here its origin is superficial head. It's superficial head and deep head. Pronator teres, it has two head, superficial head and deep head. Superficial head, its origin is medial epicondyle of the humerus, common flexor origin, okay. And the deep head, here you can see the deep head is originates from the coronoid process of the ulna, okay. So pronator teres, it has two origin, superficial head and deep head. Superficial head is originates from the medial epicondyle, which is the traction epiphysis of the humerus, and deep head is originates from the medial margin coronoid process of the ulna. Insertion, lateral surface of the radius, okay. So this is the insertion and this is the origin of pronator teres. And what is the action of the pronator teres? Pronator teres, it's crossing the elbow joint anteriorly. That's why any muscles which is crossing any joint anteriorly, crossing flexion of the joint. So pronator teres obviously causing flexion at the elbow, and also when it contracts, it's causing the rotation of radius on the radioulnar joint, okay. So rotation of radius on the ulna at the radioulnar joint, this superior radioulnar joint and inferior radioulnar joint, okay. So when radius is rotated on the ulna, this type of movement is called your pronation. And this pronator teres is supplied by your median nerve, all right. So this is all about the pronator teres muscle. So pronator teres, it is forming the medial boundary of the cubital fossa, then crossing the anterior forearm and attached laterally on the radius. Look at this. Yes, this is the cubital fossa. Here you can see the cubital fossa, and this cubital fossa, the medial boundary of the cubital fossa is formed by pronator teres. Lateral boundary is by brachioradialis, okay. Medial boundary pronator teres. Then pronator teres crossing the anterior forearm and attached laterally on the radius, okay. So this is the basic about the pronator teres. Okay, so one thing, Once again, just I am summarizing everything. Pronotal teres, its origin, it has two head. One is superficial head and another one is your deep head. When I am talking about the superficial head of the pronotal teres, superficial head of the pronotal teres is taking origin from your medial epicondyle of the humerus or the common flexor origin. Okay, and then the deep head of the pronotal teres, it takes origin from your coronoid process of the ulna. Okay, ulna from here, deep head, and then they are inserted on the lateral surface of the radius. Okay, and when it contracts, pronotal teres, when it contracts, it's causing what? Flexion at the elbow joint. Why? Because pronotal teres causing your elbow anteriorly. Okay, so any muscles which crossing any joint anteriorly, if this muscle contracts, causing the flexion of that joint. Okay, and also this pronotal teres is causing the rotation of the radius on the ulna, radio-ulnar joint. Radio-ulnar joint is which type of joint? This is a pivot joint. Okay, this is the pivot synovial joint. Radio-ulnar joint is pivot synovial joint. That's why it's causing rotation. Radio-ulnar joint, both superior radio-ulnar joint and inferior radio-ulnar joint are pivot type of synovial joint. That's why contraction of the pronotal teres is causing the rotation of radius on the ulna, and this type of movement is called your pronation. So the pronotal teres causing flexion at the elbow joint, but major function of the pronotal teres is pronation. Okay, now your pronotal teres, it has two head. Already I told that the superficial head and deep head. I already told that pronotal teres, it has superficial head and deep head. Okay, your ulnar artery is deep to the deep head of the pronotal teres. Ulnar artery, just here I am writing ulnar artery, it is deep to the deep head of the pronotal teres. It is deep to the deep head of the pronotal teres. Okay, deep to this head, deep head of the pronotal teres. This, it has a one clinical importance. Okay, that is in the cubital fossa. Here you can see, yes, in the cubital fossa you can see the pronotal teres here. The pronotal teres, it has one superficial head and deep head, and you can see the median nerve here. This is the median nerve. You can see this. Yes, this is the median nerve. This median nerve is actually passing. This median nerve is actually passing in between the two head, of the pronotal teres, and then this median nerve is entering into the anterior compartment of the forearm. Okay, so from the arm to forearm, medial nerve when come from the arm and entering into the forearm, this median nerve is crossing actually the passing in between two head of the pronotal teres. Okay, and your, what is this? This is your ulnar artery. Actually not, this is your brachial artery. When brachial artery is dividing into two, here you can see this. This is the brachial artery. Yes, this is the brachial artery. Brachial artery is divided into ulnar artery and radial artery at the forearm region. Okay, so brachial artery, when it reaches the forearm, it is divided into ulnar artery and radial artery. So this is the brachial artery. This is the brachial artery, you can see here. Okay, and this is the you can see here, this is the brachial artery. Yes, this is the brachial artery, and brachial artery is dividing into ulnar artery and radial artery. This ulnar artery is passing deep to the deep head of the pronotal teres. It is passing deep to the deep head of the pronotal teres, and ulnar artery is separated from median nerve by this deep head of the pronotal teres. Median nerve is passing in between the two head of the pronotal teres. This is one head, this is another head, superior head and deep head of the pronotal teres, and median nerve is passing in between these two head. Okay, but your ulnar artery is passing deep to the deep head of the pronotal teres. So that's how you can separate during cadaveric dissection the ulnar artery from median nerve at the cubital fossa region. Okay, so this is, I think, all about the pronotal teres muscle. So after the pronator teres, now I'm going to talk about the most medial muscle with respect to pronator teres. Medial to pronator teres is your flexor carpi radialis muscle. Similarly, flexor carpi radialis, it has also the same origin or common origin from the common flexor origin. The anterior surface of the medial